Hi, happy Wednesday. I'm starting off on my Flip screen. So this is Flip. This is the cross-posting website that I use for our business. I'm going to go over solds from, it would be week, was it last week, May 8th through May 14th. So I usually just go by 7 days and 7 day increments starting on the first of the month. I don't really do like Saturday through Sunday or whatever. I just do from the first and then 7 days out. And then there's usually like a handful of days at the end of the month, and then I will count those as well. Again, I try to aim for $1,000 a month in profit. So last fall and December is when we really started to try to ramp up our sales. And I remember it was kind of like we were getting like $500, $800 a month. And then right around Christmas time, we got almost to 1,000. And so I wanted to make that our goal for this year. Well, both are mine and my husband's goal. I say I, but it's both of us. We wanted the goal of $1,000 a month in profit. So I knew that, of course, come summertime, that could slow down some due to summer slowdown, but that was our goal. Um, and we do have the three platforms we sell on. We also sell on at a consignment store in town. Doesn't bring in much money. They usually end up paying us about $1, $2 an item. So it's not much, but like I always say, it adds up. And that's kind of our last resort for anything that doesn't sell in 6 to 9 months. We'll take it there before we donate it. All right, so I'm going to go to Mercari first because that's our slowest platform. So we sold this pretty dress. The brand was Perceptions. Nothing really spectacular about it. See, hopefully no addresses pop up or anything. Nothing really spectacular about it, but I saw it in Goodwill and I thought it was pretty. It was new with tags. It was a size large, petite. So that's good because it's a larger size. And then obviously petite, anything petite or tall, I usually will look up because those are harder to come by for most people. So they usually sell pretty well. I don't remember what the this was worth $79. The tag said I always include that when the tags say the price, and if tags don't say a price, or if it's a pre-owned item, I usually try to look it up just so I can see about what something's worth. But yeah, it's a pretty little dress sold for $30 plus shipping. And like I mentioned in my last video, we used to not charge for shipping on Mercari and eBay, but I started doing that once Mercari changed their rules when they said they were going to start allowing return any returns for any reason. I was like, oh no, no. And the reason I did that was because so what I used to do was on Poshmark, I would sell something for or list something for $20, let's say. And then when I would cross post it, I'd say, okay, well now I'm having to pay the shipping, whereas if someone bought something on Poshmark, they'd pay that $7.99 or whatever the shipping is. So I need to cover my butt and charge extra for shipping. So I'd say, okay, shipping will probably be about $5 to $8. So instead of $20, I would list something for 25 or $28 on Mercari or eBay. Well, unfortunately, when Mercari decided they were going to take returns for any reason, I quickly realized I was like, okay, well, if I sell the dress for $28 and it costs me $8 to ship it and it goes to a buyer, I have $20 now. Okay, well, then the buyer decides they want to return it because they don't like it. It doesn't look like it did on the computer. Insert a reason here. Well, now I'm responsible to refund their entire $28 and they ship it back. Well, the $8 was already spent on shipping. So now I am out of pocket even more because I have to return the full $28 and I don't get the money back for what I paid for shipping. So I said, okay, from now on, if they're going to allow returns for any reason, I need to charge shipping. That way, I only have to return the purchase price and I'm not going to be out more money. I hope that makes sense. It took a little bit of explaining to my husband a few times for him to finally get it. But anyway, so now I charge actual shipping. So this person paid $30 plus $6.99. Also, Mercari, I think I mentioned it in the last video, just recently stopped seller fees. So when it says I got $30, I actually got $30 for this. The seller fees are now on to the buyer. So the buyer actually paid a pretty penny for this. They paid 30 plus a service fee of 240 plus delivery 699, a payment processing fee of 172, and tax of 277. So you see all these fees that got added to that $30 dress. To be honest, I would not be shopping on Mercari. If I'm a buyer, I'm not going to Mercari. I'm gonna find that item somewhere else. I think the fees that they're charging is ridiculous. It is what it is. All right, then I sold these Counterparts white scalloped stretch shorts, size extra large. I picked them up because at our Goodwill, they have a bunch of wooden bins in the back of the store that they keep like t-shirts, tanks, and shorts in, things like that. Uh, Less substantial items. And so I found these, and the bin items are $2. So I found these shorts, brand new with tags, and I looked them up and they seemed to do pretty well. And I thought, okay, $2 into whatever, easy profit. So you see they sold for 18 plus a heck of a lot of fees. On Mercari, my total profit was $30. And as you can see, by default, my tabs keep going to Torrid. I keep Torrid open on my computer because a lot of times they'll have, well, they used to have really good clearance sales. And so I just keep it open and I'll refresh it a few times a week to see if they're having any good clearance items. All right, now we're to eBay. On eBay, I sold these leopard wedges. These didn't sell for too much considering they didn't pay shipping. That was left over from when we used to do free shipping. And so after I paid shipping, which was $6.44, we got $5.08. And if you remember, I said before my cost of goods are $4, so we did not make much money on this. Okay, then I sold these athletic leggings, 717 after shipping. Well, actually, no, they paid shipping. So 717 minus 4 wasn't a lot, but just trying to move some stuff. I found this cute Catherine's, I guess you would call it like a kimono. It is. And I found this at Goodwill in the hanging section. I don't usually check women's tops, hanging tops when I'm at Goodwill, but one of the YouTube resellers that I follow mentioned Catherine's being, I guess it's just plus sizes, and this was new with tags, and it said it was worth $59.95. So it's actually sold for $25. And they did pay shipping. Then there was this neat fanny pack. I think I found this at Goodwill, maybe in a bin or something. I probably paid a couple bucks for it. It sold for 20. This was a Ralph Lauren kids item. It was like a little boy romper, something that I had for my son. He probably wore it once. Sold for $10 plus shipping. Banana Republic men's gray linen shorts, $14 plus shipping. What was funny was I'd had these up here since last August, and I just kept lowering the price on Poshmark. And I think it was like maybe 2 weeks ago, and I said, I'm just gonna relist these because it's summertime. They were, I wouldn't say a bigger size, but I mean they're not super tiny. They're 38 and they're linen. And I thought, I'm surprised these haven't sold yet. And they've been here for almost a year. And I thought it's getting closer to summer and whatever, guys might be out buying shorts. So I relisted it and it sold within like a week. So I definitely suggest if you have a bunch of stuff that's stale that hasn't sold, relist it. And the good thing when you have something like Flip, or if you have what are some of the other ones? List Perfectly, things like that, then it makes it really easy to cross or to relist things. This was a cool pair of gaucho short pants things. I found this I think in skirts or something at Goodwill. It was hanging, and so it was like $4. And I thought it was a skirt. Let me see if I can pull it up. It's really neat. Thought it was a skirt. You see it's this really cool paisley print. and it had like an elastic waistband, but I thought it was a skirt. And then I finally realized once I got home that, as you can see here, they're shorts, pants, things. But yeah, they sold for 34 bucks, which was awesome. I just thought they were really unique. Then there's a pair of men's Lucky Brand jeans. The Some of the YouTubers that I follow say that even if something doesn't sell super well in women's, that to still check men's when you do comps, because sometimes men's things and vice versa will sell better than women's. Lucky Brand sells okay for me. I usually can get like 20 bucks for a pair of women's jeans. These men's jeans sold for 30. However, that was again when we didn't have shipping added on. So I paid shipping. And so it says after I paid shipping and eBay fees, which totaled like 10.50, I got $19 minus the $4 cost of good. I made about 15 bucks. This came out of the bin at Goodwill, so $2. It was a vintage Champion sports bra and it was new with tags. This also was something that I relisted due to it being a little stale. I think I'd had it up there for at least 6 to 9 months. They paid 15. All right, that was all of my eBay. And on eBay, it says that I did my calculations, 72.83 in profit for that week. And now we'll go to Poshmark. See if this gets okay. A Goodfellow, which is, I believe, a Target brand, a men's t-shirt sold for $12. That was also relisted. It had been on there quite a while. It was new with tags. I thought I'll go ahead and just relist it. I think I might have tagged like teacher or something like that in it. I tried a keyword thing as much as I can. Sold for $12, and it says I made $9 after fees. The awesome thing with Poshmark is shipping is just all automatically paid. I don't have to worry about it. So I made profit of $5. These Huck shorts, I'd never heard of the brand before. I found these in the men's bin in our Goodwill, so $2. They were new with tags, size large, so good size. And I can't remember, they retailed for something like maybe 50 something dollars, sold for 25 bucks a few days after I listed them. These, ooh, I'd had these for a long time. I probably had them up here a year. They're Crocs and they are like a wedgie heel. I would not pick up this style again, and especially not in this size. They're a size 6, so pretty small. They sold for $13. I got 10. And then of course, after a $4 cost of good, I made about 6 bucks. This, these listed these sold days after I listed them. A pair of White House Black Market jeans. The reason I picked these up at the thrift store was because they were a size 16, so bigger size. They were super beaded and everything, and they were high rise and they were like a boot cut flare kind of style. And I did check my comps. White House Black Market's not something I typically will pick up or even, have a second glance at, but just due to the factors, if you can factor stack, find several things going for a piece, then it's sometimes worth it. And I sold these for $25. A pair of Old Navy Rockstar jeans. One of the YouTubers I listened to said that Rockstar jeans from Old Navy sell really well, that style. And I found it to be pretty true. I like these that are pull on. However, I've sold a lot of Rockstar jeans that are just normal zip and button fly. But usually these will stick out in the thrift store. You can see the waistband on them. I don't get a ton when I sell these. Like you see these sold for $15, but I mean, like, come on, $15 from four, and if they're flipping consistently, it's money to be made. And lastly, these were really neat. I'd never seen these before from Levi's. They were called the baggy dad jeans. And I found 2 pairs of Levi's that day at the Goodwill. These were hanging, so they're $4 or like 4.19, 4.39, something like that. They were called Levi's Premium, and I guess I can't think, the other one was maybe like mom jeans or something. and they didn't go for as much, but this baggy dad style was worth quite a bit. And I actually went back and forth with the buyer for a long time, and we finally settled on $35, which after fees, I was left with 28 minus my $4 cost of good, made about 24 bucks. So let me pull up my notifications here. So my average cost or my average sales, let's see, my sales were 75.10 in profit on Poshmark, which means that from between Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari that week, I made $177.93. So adding up the first week of May and the second week of May in profit, we have made $383.92. So about $384. That last week was my lowest sales week. That May 8th through May 14th, that's my lowest sales week that I've had in months at 178. I usually make between 200 to 300 a week in profit. So that was kind of a hit to us. That surprised me. The week before I made 206, still kind of low for us. I feel like we're getting enough sales, but I think that the price point, I guess, must just not be there. Like we must not be selling. The average sale price must still be low. So I think that we need to start listing some higher priced items instead of just, I guess, like average things. So at $383.92, in order to reach our goal of 1,000, that means that we still have to make $616.08 this month. Which means about 308 each week of the 2 weeks that are left. And there are like 2 weeks and maybe 3 days or something when I looked at the calendar that were left, which would mean that we'd need to make about $36.24 a day in profit. And I don't think that sounds too unrealistic, but I also know there's a lot of days where we don't get any sales at all. Lots of likes, lots of comments, lots of offers, and no sales. So it is what it is. But that's about it. I have to calculate May 15th through the 21st after this video so that I can see how much we've made. And then there'll just be a week and a half left of the month. So fingers crossed that we made a little bit more than the previous week. We can hope. I'm working hard. Hope everyone's doing well and have a good night. Bye.